and that was justified by the extent of objective market opinion when our National Treasury Management Agency was able to go back into the markets formally and borrow 3.75 billion at low interest rates, at rates that were lower than programs that were not in programs, which I think justified that decision in its own way, which was reflected again by all of the rating agencies now giving Ireland investment status, which impacted immediately upon Portugal and Spain and Italy, and also on the objective opinion of other countries towards Ireland. It's all changed. We're in a very different position than we were 3 years ago. But just as we had a clear strategy and a clear plan to exit the bailout programme, we now have a clear strategy and a clear plan post the bailout programme to build a new future. And that's all contained in the medium-term economic strategy that we published very shortly after exiting the programme, Secretary-General, which sets out the signposts for the future, to have our deficit below 3% by 2015, to have it eliminated by 2018, and to return to full employment by 2020. And we continue the momentum and the discipline of government in the sense of working with our people to open new doors for new opportunities. We did not increase income tax. We have not taxed employment. We have made changes in the way that the lists of unemployed people on the live register are being treated and dealt with and understood that they too have a really important both history, connection, experience, expertise, and they give them a motivation to get out of the unemployment rush and back into the employment sector. So foreign direct investment is very strong in the country. Clearly there's a motivation among people to get up and see the benefits of having exited the programme with a new future up ahead. And that's all in the focus of the medium-term economic strategy that we've actually published. So obviously it means we also have to continue with our educational programmes, changing the nature of how you provide for skills for the future, looking at the changing frontiers up ahead in terms of the digital world and all of these areas that are impacting on the lives of billions of people around the globe. So in that sense, the OECD Secretary-General has a very important part to play for us. Last year we created 58,000 new jobs. 20 consecutive months the live register has been reduced. The unemployment list has been reduced. That means employment is growing for the first time since 2007. We're nearly at the point of being at the average rate of unemployment among European countries. The 12.3 at the moment is much too high. It's unacceptable to us, and far from losing momentum, we're going to focus now entirely with a relentless pursuit on jobs and job creation, because that's where the future lies, in satisfaction in careers, in the capacity to contribute locally and nationally, and give people a sense of purpose, and also to show them that politics, where it's focused on their interests, actually can and does work. And so that means the pace of change is enormous. I pointed out to Secretary-General the Web Summit in Dublin last autumn. 10,000 creators, entrepreneurs, thinkers, innovators turned up at that, and they are changing the world. And that's why one of the big attractions of our country is that extent and range of talent pool that exists, coming from the colleges of technology, from the universities, who are able to compete and stand against the challenge of their peers from around the world with expertise. And that's why you have the focus and the concentration of so many companies, be it from financial services to IT, to medical devices, to pharmaceutical. They're all there because they recognize the scale and the quality of the talent pool as one of the really important issues. So obviously creating the conditions for new jobs are one thing. The equipment of these people with skills that are appropriate to their needs is also important. And that's where the Minister for Education, the Minister for Jobs, the Minister for Social Protection, and the Minister for the Environment are here with us today. These are fundamental requirements for a country that needs assistance here. We do not have all the answers. The OECD have that specialist expertise that we hold very high indeed. So the country surveys that you produced, the work that you've done, Secretary-General, in the sense of schemes that are compatible with Ireland's particular circumstances, are very much appreciated by us. But in the sense of dealing with the issues of tax that have been raised, We participate fully in the BEPS programme on all of the 15 different sectors. We are one of the leading countries and was one of the first actually to say that we need an international response to a tax regime that applies to different jurisdictions depending on the way different companies operate their business. So we fully support the work of Madame Navarro in dealing with the BEPS, and Ireland contributes fully in that. We believe our situation is perfectly consistent with our law, and we want to work with the OECD and our European colleagues to have an international response here. We expect growth of 2% this year, climbing beyond that from 2015. We see recovery now beginning in the labour market. More importantly for people, psychological benefit of being able to say we are no longer in a programme. We see brighter days up ahead. We recognise the scale of challenge that our country still faces, and government in Ireland are in no way complacent just because we have exited the programme. We are not going back to the situation that caused the economic catastrophe in our country in the first place. We recognise that at the European level, the European Council level, it's very important from a political perspective that the decisions that are made by the Council be followed through so that the citizens of the Union and the Eurozone can see these being put into effect for a very good reason, to grow economies, to prosper the potential of the 500 million market, and that's where the future lies. And that's why during our presidency at this time last year, we were very strong on moving on issues of data protection, the mandate to open negotiations with the United States, the conclusion of our trade agreements, the encouragement of countries to move to the single digital market with its almost unlimited potential. These are some of the reasons that we've made the decisions that we've made. That we're happy to report here to the OECD that our country is in a very different place than it was 3 years ago. It's still in a fragile place, but we know where the high ground is up ahead. And from a political perspective, working with our colleagues at the European level, the expertise of the OECD, and with our people, we intend to get there and to meet the signposts that we've set out in the medium-term economic strategy between here and 2020. And thank you for your indulgence.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Tánaiste. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Secretary-General, and